Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time it's a completely different type of video. This is a speed duel tournament that I just played in a couple hours ago. I want to VOD review every match that I was in, so that way I can go ahead and try to improve my gameplay. I've only been playing speed duels for, it should be a little bit under 2 weeks right now. So I'm not like the best at speed duels, but I definitely plan on getting a lot better. So, you know, we got the first match. Also, this tournament is single elimination, and also shout out to Rook's Table. He is the one that hosted the tournament. I'll leave a link down below to his YouTube channel. He does a lot of speed duel stuff. He's like the speed duel channel. So if you want to, you know, get in the speed duels, go check him out. I'm not going to upload very much speed duel content, so don't expect a lot from me. Definitely more of like a regular competitive content channel. I don't even know, regular Yu-Gi-Oh! So we got me versus Jaween. And then we're going to go ahead. Also, I had a strategy for this tournament. And it was stay solid and pick rock. So, you know, you already know we pick rock every time. So we got 20 versus 20. Gotta love to see it. Then they're going to go first. They have 0 cards in extra deck, which is very bad. You definitely want to have an extra deck because now this tells me that they're not on like multiple different decks. They're not on the XYZ deck. They don't have Awakening of the Dragon in their deck. I don't have to play around that. They're not on it's not on extra deck stuff. So like, you know, you want to have an extra deck, even if it doesn't do anything. So I opened Double Breaker, Book Cosmic, which is like decent. Right here, like the skill cards get like placed, and I see that they got Bandith Keith, which is this deck. So I'm looking at my hand and I'm like, oh no, that's not good. I can't do anything to a normal summon. So they open Allied Justice, Colossus, Floodgate Trap Hole, X Head Cannon, and Jinzo. This card's not common in this deck. I don't know why they're playing this card. We were actually both the newbies in the tournament. This was both of our first tournaments. So this will allow them to go ahead and normal summon this out. If you don't know what this does, it makes it so that way all machines they control are unaffected by opponent's spell cards. You can go ahead and normal summon out normal monsters like this for free as long as it's a machine. And that's pretty much all it does. Then pass, I draw Zama there. So I just go ahead and normal summon out Breaker. Like I could go and Cosmic this, but like if I Cosmic the back row and then normal summon Breaker, Breaker's just not doing anything. So I'm like, okay, just normal summon Breaker. They go ahead, Floodgate, Trap Hole. I could chain Book because Book doesn't do a lot against this deck. All of his monsters are unaffected. But I was like, honestly, like, Breaker, like, if I book Breaker, it's not doing anything here. Like, may as well just hold on to it. And then I went ahead, set 3 pass. They draw Cosmic. And then they Tribute Summon for Jinzo. And here, I was like, it's not looking too great for me. Not looking too bad. I figured that, like, if they did just, like, Tribute Summon for Jinzo, I would be able to, like, at least just, like, activate Book of Moon. It'd be unaffected. But I'd be able to, like, free up back row if I needed to. That's, like, something you don't want to, like, set 3 traps against the Jinzo deck because that can just lead to bad times. I draw Maneater Bug. This card's incredible. This card's actually just insane. It works with the skill card very well because you need to have an insect in your graveyard to shuffle back to get a free draw. So Maneater Bug works with that. This card works with Book of Moon very well. People are also playing around Newdoria, so they won't attack your set, and they'll play, like, defensively, and then you just flip Maneater Bug, pop it, and then, like, it works with Book so well, and then, like, I don't count Newdoria as, like, a starter card. It's so weird, Speed Duel, like, logic. I don't count it as, like, a starter card. While Maneater Bug I do, because this gives you an extra draw. So like they do the same thing, but you get an extra draw through this. No, there's no like real starter cards in this deck. Besides like Parasite, it's like it kind of just like it's not like a starter. It's just like a draw, which like is really good. Also, right there, I accidentally set Breaker, and I was like, hold up, let me set Maneater Bug real quick. Did not mean to set Breaker. Then they draw Drillago, which I was very surprised they're playing both of these cards. But they're going to go ahead and then they're going to go ahead and attack the Maneater Bug, which they shouldn't have done. They definitely should have Jinzo attacked. This is, like, I could tell that they were kind of new just by how they played this, because if this was like a Newdoria or Maneater Bug and they attack with Jinzo, then I still have to pop Jinzo, and they get to attack for 18. So there's definitely like a mistake there. So the first match isn't the best match just because they don't play the best. They're in a Cosmic, they hit the book, and then I go ahead and summon out Zamba there. I decide here that I just want to apply as much pressure as possible, because I figured that like if I can go ahead and at the bare minimum have like Breaker beat over this by 100, attack for 18, my opponent's going to be at not a lot of life points, and then Zama burn will end up being pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead, put back, draw Breaker, then normal summon Breaker, gain a counter, switch to attack, battle phase. Also, if you see me set before going in the battle phase, because there's no main phase 2 in this game, I was definitely messing that up a lot the first like week of playing this. So they draw their bird there, normal summon, and then I just go ahead and Nightmare Wheel it, and then I didn't even have to Nightmare Wheel it. Like at that point, I just knew I'd won, because I could just crash Zama and then make him take 23. So going on to the next game, we're going to see them decide to go first, which I would not suggest doing in this matchup. Opening hands, we have Sphere Karibo, Moth, Cosmic, Breaker, sided this card in. This card's pretty good against that deck. Like, the deck doesn't have like the biggest defense monsters. Then they have Drill, Psychic Shockwave, X-Head Cannon, and Allied Justice. Psychic Shockwave's pretty cool. Lets you summon either Jinzo or this out from the deck. Then they're going to go ahead, activate, normal summon, set pass, draw Maneater Bug. So I just set Maneater Bug, set Cosmic, pass. I'm like, you know what, we could just like play this slow. We don't need to like normal summon Breaker and do Breaker shenanigans. Normal summon. On summon, I say think. This is just to like, you know, mind game the opponent. I don't actually have anything on summon. I'll go ahead, pop. Again, like they make the same mistake that they made last time. And then I Cosmic that, draw into Cosmic. Now I can go main phase, activate my skill, shuffle back Maneater Bug, draw into Maneater Bug. I'm cracked. Normal summon Breaker, gain a counter, set Cosmic, beat over. And then pass, draw Psychic Shockwave. And then they go ahead, Cosmic, trade with Cosmic. Then normal summon, battle phase. This card just lets them attack directly. Like I could Sphere Karibo it, but it's like there's just no point. Like I'm beating over this card. Like it just says attack for 16, which is okay. And then I draw Parasite. Then I go ahead and the thing about like this deck is that Spellproof Armor makes them unaffected by my spell cards. So if I Parasite equip to this, then they can go ahead and it won't become an insect. But realistically, what I should have done here is I should have activated Parasite, equipped the Breaker, Breaker effect, remove counter, pop Parasite, Parasite, summon out Moth, and then battle phase, force either Sphere Karibo or go for game. So that would have put my opponent on 0 cards. So misplay counter, 1. This is why we VOD review. Then they're going to set, summon. And now this can't attack directly because it says if the only cards your opponent controls are face-up monsters with 16 more attack, which, you know, so it can't attack directly here. Even if it could, I just have Sphere Karibo to stop it. Maneater Bug trade, draw Cosmic. And then I go main phase, pop, activate, and then just Parasite, tribute off, summon out Moth, and then just go for games. So that's going to be it, round 1. Definitely made the one misplay, though. I did not catch that while playing. That is definitely something that I need to keep an eye on next time, for sure. But that's going to be it for the first round. So, boom, I won that. Going on to the next one, of course, we got me versus Tet R4. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to see me win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Also, I'm pretty sure this player has their own Discord. I got invited to a few Discords after the tournament, and I'm pretty sure one of them is his. I'm not certain, though, so, but I think it is. But 20 versus 20, gotta love to see it. I'm going to make them go first. Opening hands, we have Nightmare Wheel, Book, Cosmic, Zamba. Like, this deck wants to go second, if you didn't know. Then they have Night Beam, Moth, Zama, Night Beam. Some people play Night Beam. Some people play Twister. Some people play Cosmic. Some people play Dust Tornado. There's a lot of back row removal. Cosmic is interesting. You know, there's just a lot of options. And I can see right here, it's the mirror match. They just go ahead, pass. And then I just set pass. They draw New Doria. Night Beam, target book, that resolves. Night Beam, pop Zama, normal summon Eudoria. And here, when they normal summon that out, I was like, okay, that back row has to be like a Book of Moon or Cosmic. Crazy enough, it just wasn't. So I go to main phase. I'm like, okay, I could activate Cosmic on the back row, right? Okay, so this was my exact thought process. I was like, okay, I've seen Night Beams. So the odds of them also playing Cosmic, not that high. Like, there's some lists where they would play like 3 Night Beam, 2 Cosmic, something like that. But I figured like a lot of that has kind of like fizzled out over the last month. So I was like, okay, so they're probably not on Cosmic. So the set has to be Book of Moon because nobody just plays in the Parasite. So if the set's Book of Moon, if I Cosmic target, they chain book and set this, and now I've done nothing. I've done nothing with my life. I just did that for no reason. So I go Parasite, equip. If they chain Book of Moon, this still goes to graveyard, and then I can go draw one. But then I get the tribute off, and I'm just like, okay, so the set like has to be like something, right? Like, has to be. At this point, it's like, yeah, it's probably just Zama. Draw Maneater Bug, and then I go ahead and I set all of these. I shouldn't have set all of these. I should have kept Cosmic to play around Zama / Nightmare Wheel because I already had Book of Moon to play around my opponent's Parasite. So, misplay counter 2. So I attack, they flip Zama, I just pass. They draw Breaker, normal summon Breaker, gain a counter, lose a counter, hits the best one of the back row. Then they switch to attack, battle phase attack. I was also thinking about this here. I wanted to be kind of quick about my decision, so I should have said think on Breaker Summon. Because when they attack, I could go ahead and book my Moth, so that way this just like attacks the defense position monster, and then like Cosmic out a back row. But instead I do this. But to be fair, they're not gonna have a back row because I would have had to set it before. Okay. Yeah, I like how I played it. That was just something that I had I thought about very quickly. Then I pop that, draw Breaker, summon Breaker, go for game. So I definitely messed that up. I put myself to where I needed to draw something like Breaker to be able to go for game, but I should have been able to already have gone for game. So unfortunate. Played it not so great. Now they're going to make me go first. Opening hands, we have Maneater Bug, Cosmic, Nightmare Wheel, Cosmic. And I'm like, okay, this hand's fine. Like, opening Maneater Bug is, like, optimal when you're forced to go first. They have Parasite, Cosmic, Zama, Breaker. Yeah, their hand's solid. Then go ahead, and I just set pass to draw Night Beam. So they probably sided Cosmic in, I would say. Cosmic's pretty good against this matchup. There's a few different names for this deck. Some people call this deck Beatdown Moth. They call it Burn Moth. I personally, I'm that guy. I'm not into speed duels that much. I haven't been in it that long, but I'm already making my own names up for the decks. I'm that guy in Yu-Gi-Oh! I call this deck Cosmic Moth because the entire deck is just Cosmic bait. And you have to properly play around opponents' Cosmics and Book of Moons to be able to win. If you improperly play around those, you will almost auto-lose. So, that's why I call it that. You can call it whatever. Then they're going to summon, go ahead, pop. Set Cosmic, set Zama, battle phase attack, and then just trade there. Pass, draw Breaker. It's not a bad draw. When I draw that, I'm like, okay, it's a nice draw. Go ahead, put back. Drawn to a Moth, which is like, this card isn't the worst card to draw. Otherwise, you would just play one of it. You can still use it in hand as long as you have a Parasite along with it, which is why you play 2 of this card. You don't play 3 of it. 'Cause, you don't want to draw it that bad, but you want to play 1 of it because you always want it in deck for the option, and then at the same time, once you get into a grind game, having the second Moth is actually incredibly good. There's definitely points where you're like, come on, draw Moth. let me just do it to him. So summon, gain a counter, lose a counter, pop a back row. I end up hitting Cosmic. And then I set Cosmic, and I attack. Because here I was like, alright, they have Nightmare Wheel. If they have Zama and they use it doesn't matter. Because I just attack into it. Because it has to summon in defense. So they activate Parasite on Breaker. And then they say thumbs up. And I was like, They're like, is it okay? And I was just like, yeah, attack goes through. It's fine. Like, take your damage, bud. It's going. So they flip Zama here. They draw Zama. The reason why they used Parasite there is because they want to use it during my turn. I don't know why they used it on attack. They could have just also done it during end phase. Would have had the same result, but it's because if they draw another Parasite, if I go ahead and Cosmic hit this during like the draw phase, then they can activate another Parasite and go for game. So I go ahead, Cosmic that, switch to attack, set, beat over. I'm not in a very good position here. My opponent has a lot of pressure coming down on me. I draw Breaker. Here was actually another misplay that I ended up catching. So I was like, okay, I could go ahead and pop the back row, but then Zama applies pressure. What I was supposed to do was just pop Zama. I don't know why I didn't. It didn't click in my brain for a second. I didn't like warm up before playing in this tournament, which I definitely should have done. You definitely should warm up before playing in a tournament. So they flipped that and they just switched it to attack and crash and go for a game next turn. So I misplayed, lost the game. Going on to the next game, misplay counter 3. So I got Cosmic, Moth, Parasite, Book, and then they have Breaker, Kaiku, Zama, Breaker. A lot of people are playing Kaiku right now. I don't think this card's very good. It's decent versus the XYZ and the Magnet matchup, but it's really good versus the Magnet matchup. But versus the XYZ matchup, I found this card to just like never be like, it was never actually banishing from their grave. It was very rare that this card was actually resolving to banish from my opponent's graveyard, because like their bodies are big, or they're setting bodies to play around Parasites. So it was Kaiku just didn't fit what I liked. I tried a lot of cards, but they're gonna go ahead, summon, set, pass, and once again I'm like, okay, if they're going for this, they have to have Book or Cosmic. I don't know why they're playing it like this. I really don't. You just have to play around Parasite. Like, if you play in the Parasite, you just lose so much. So I go ahead and Cosmic the back row here. I'm doing that to play around Cosmic, but not play around, like, why did I Cosmic there? Shouldn't I have just activated Parasite and been like, if you have Cosmic, you have Cosmic, cool, normal summon, Breaker, crash? I guess I'm not in a good point at that place if I do that. Okay, fair. Like, if they book, then I can just, like, normal summon Breaker, battle phase beat over, and I still have, like, Parasite, Moth. Okay. Yeah, alright. I like how I played that. Go ahead, summon out Moth. Go put back, draw. See, like, what I'm doing right now is VOD reviewing. You don't just do this for speed duels. You should do this for, like, a lot of matches that you play in. I think VOD reviewing is very good. Like, actually discussing why you made a play. I think it's good to do with other people, too. I'm just doing this by myself because I don't have anyone else on right now that would play speed duels with me. It's pretty late, I'm not gonna lie. But also, a lot of people I know don't really know the speed duel decks that well. There's like one other person or two other people. Shout out Team Eclipse. But I'm gonna get more testing partners for this. I really only tested with like I didn't even like really test with them for this event. I just kind of like typed in Discord, I was like, yo, who's trying to play test? And I played versus Sin Ursus a couple times. He's very good. He's actually at the very top of the leaderboard for this season. I didn't even know that until after I played against him like multiple times, and I saw the leaderboard and I was like, whoa, this guy is nice with it, huh? And then pass, draw Moth. Go ahead, set Kaiku, and I flip this. Draw Zama, and then, yeah, they just say GG there, because I'm just going to normal summon out Breaker, gang a counter, and then if this is Newdoria or Maneater Bug, I still just win. So GG's, GG. Alright, moving on into the next match, we have me versus Zan, Wiz, 7, Mike. This is another good player. The last player I played against was good too. And then we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Make them go first, 20 versus 20. Gotta love to see it. You know, if you had 20 plus 20, that's 40. So realistically, I'm saying 40 versus 40. Gotta love to see it. That's just like big brain. But opening hands, you have Maneater Bug, Cosmic, Breaker, Nightmare Wheel. I'm like, okay, solid. Then they have Kaiku, Moth, Twister, and Maneater Bug. Twister works pretty cool with like Parasite because you can equip Parasite to your own monster, and then Twister pop Parasite, summon out Moth from hand, and then this is also just like doesn't cost as much as Cosmic and it hits face ups. So there's a lot of face ups in the game right now. Like my deck has like multiple, like Nightmare Wheel, Zama, Parasite. There's also other decks, like the XYZ deck has like Hanger, but they just set pass, I draw Breaker. And then here, I decided to summon out Breaker. I was thinking like I could have set Maneater Bug, but I figured that the opponent's card was probably Maneater Bug. You know it's the mirror once like you see this. But I was like, it could also be Newdoria. A lot of people are playing Newdoria right now. I think Newdoria is actually just incorrect compared to Maneater Bug, which I explained earlier. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna give my opponent the respect. And either way, like if this is Maneater Bug or Newdoria, this is gonna get popped. So then I won't have a face-up monster on board to get hit with Parasite. So then I can keep my Cosmic. Again, just play around Parasite. That's how you do it. Even if you have to play extremely weird, play around Parasite. And then they're going to activate this, go ahead, put back the Maneater Bug. A lot of people put, like, the counters on the skill card to, like, say, like, oh, I've used the second effect, put 2 counters on it. I've used the first effect, put a counter on it. When it hits 3, it's done. I don't do that. I kind of just, like, use it. But Summon Breaker, gain a counter, lose a counter, hits the Cosmic. And then they're going to set Twister, battle phase, attack. And then I just take it, pass, draw Nightmare Wheel, and, I just went ahead and like took that there because I was like, okay, next turn I can just normal summon Breaker, trade with the back row, crash, still playing around Parasite. And then, yeah, it's like it trades pretty well there. They activate Parasite on the attack so that way they can summon out Moth. I said, is goof is good. So they get to go ahead, summon out a big body. Pastoral Night Beam. Also, this is something that I realized, like, it would have been like, it would have been like an hour ago. I was thinking over every match, and I was thinking about Night Beam, because, like, something about Night Beam that you need to know is it says your opponent cannot activate the targeted card in response to this card's activation. So you can activate, like, a different set card, and then activate that set card. But right here, I went ahead and I did it. But, like, there's just no point. It's literally just playing around the second Night Beam. Because this is supposed to get destroyed here. I don't know why I didn't destroy. I don't know how, like, why my brain clicked like that. And also, I don't know how he didn't catch it. Like, we're bots. Okay, we botted up. Misplay counter, 400. Then they normal summon Kaiku. They attack. They can go ahead and banish my graveyard. Pass, draw Cosmic. I'm only at 600, so it's not doing anything. Also, they're getting burned for 1,000 every turn, which is huge when they only have 4,000 life points. They draw Maneater Bug, set that, Kaiku attack, and then I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'm going to pop the Kaiku. I was like, okay, I could pop the set. It's probably Maneater Bug, but I was like, this is for sure Maneater Bug. I was like, if I pop Maneater Bug, next turn, if I don't draw anything, Kaiku just goes for game. If I leave Maneater Bug, they still have to draw something, because this can't go for game. It's only at 450. One thing about this, though, is it does out the Nightmare Wheels, because you can pop your own monster. But I decided that was, like, worth, like, the risk reward. Well, there's no real risk. Like, I just played that properly. Go ahead, shuffle back, draw book. And then I go ahead, set book, pass. Again, like, I knew this was Maneater Bug, not Newdoria, or they would have just summoned Newdoria. They draw Kaiku. And then they're going to normal summon, battle phase, attack, activate book, pass, draw book. And then they're going to take 1,000. And I knew that, like, you can't win with Nightmare Wheel when they have Maneater Bug. And I knew they had it. Last turn, I was like, why didn't they flip and pop Moth to take 1,000 less? And I was like, all right, they do what they do. And, they drew Cosmic. See, I haven't even watched the replay. And they drew Cosmic they could have popped. And they would have had an extra 1,000 life points. And they'd have been able to go ahead and Cosmic, pop the Book of Moon here. And I would have just lost. So, like, they misplayed. Their misplay counter's going up. They're going to go ahead, Kaiku attack, Book of Moon that, and then I take 450, draw Zama, and then I just go main phase, activate Parasite on the Man-Eater bug, and then activate my skill, Tribute, go ahead, summon out Moth. And then I set Zama, attack over Kaiku, pass, draw Book of Moon. They set that, pass. I go ahead, flip Zama there, draw Zama. I'm feeling pretty good here. If the opponent had something like a Zama, that would be very annoying because this card does burn. So like, I'm only at 150, so I would just like lose. They book this, and I'm like, okay, that means like, I was like, I don't know what the other card could be. It can't be Book, otherwise they would have just booked Man-Eater bug. I was like, alright, attack. You got anything? And then, nope. So, going on to the next game now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see them make me go first. Opening hands, we have Zama, Breaker, Parasite, Cosmic. And then they have Twister, Newdoria, Nightbeam, and Book. So, I go ahead. You know, I don't open up like a good enough play. I could have normal summoned and then had like Cosmic to out Parasite. But, you know, I don't want to like get hit with like Nightbeam, Parasite into like something whack. So I was like, alright, whatever, I'll just pass. And then also like normal summon Breaker, they could just like normal summon Newdoria, crash, and then out this. Pass, draw Newdoria, and then they're going to activate Nightbeam, out the back row, set. Because like the thing is, you don't know for a fact if they're setting Newdoria or a Man-Eater bug, or if they're playing Newdoria or a Man-Eater bug. Because there's people just playing both. I really want to like talk like in Discord with some of these players to see why they're playing like Newdoria over Man-Eater bug, or why they're playing like the ratios that they are. So I need to build connections in the speed duel land. I understand. I think it's just because they want a card that can apply pressure more than Man-Eater bug can. But they're gonna attack. I just take it. I don't want to like flip this and like, you know, block an attack, burn them for 12. Like that just doesn't matter. I'd rather just have this be able to like attack into Newdoria, and then I'm left with no monsters playing around Parasite while outing Newdoria. Which is why here I go ahead and activate Parasite, and they book a moon. And then I get to go ahead, use my skill card, put that back, draw into a Man-Eater bug, and I decide to not normal summon here, because if I summon Breaker or set Man-Eater bug and I attack over, then they're just going to pop whatever the other card is, and then Zama stays on field, and I play in the Parasite, and I lose to Parasite. You're going to hear me say Parasite in these mirror matches all the time, because it's literally just play around Parasite deck. Pay 500, pop it, draws Moth. Then they normal summon, battle phase. They get to swing for a lot here, putting me down to 400. I draw Book of Moon, and then I decide to go ahead, set Man-Eater bug, set Book, pass. I draw another Newdoria. Normal summon, attack. Go ahead, I'm going to use that to pop. See if one of these were just Man-Eater bug. Whoo, I would have lost. Then they attack, I book, pass, draw Zama. And then, yeah, I went to go activate that to shuffle back. And literally the second I did it, I was like, hold on. I already did that. I'm cheating. I can't do that. So, go ahead, set, pass, draw Moth. Oh, they drew double Moth in a row. Let's go, baby. They attack. I pop the other one. I draw Zama. I could have flipped Zama there at the end phase to go ahead and be able to beat over Newdoria. But, if I do that, then all I knew I had was Breaker. If I knew my top deck, obviously I would have went ahead and did it. But the goal was to like normal summon Breaker, battle phase, beat over, to keep Zama to protect me from an attack next turn. Because I can't Zama and Breaker, because then I'm leaving a face-up monster for Parasite. So go ahead, attack over. Cool, my monster gets popped, trades. They draw Mind Crush. Mind Crush is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen other people play this. There's like a certain, like, there's decks that search. And then at the same time, when they activate, like, Parasite's hand effect, like, it activates. So, like, you can Mind Crush it. So, they set. I go ahead, and I summon double Zama. And right here, I'm just like, yeah. Like, even if they have a Zama set, when they summon it, I can just book it and keep going. So, I was like, they're going to have, like, a combination of cards here. Or, you know, it's something. They're going to have something to stop me. And I'll have book. Even if it's, like, Nightmare, we'll all be able to, like, book and, like, not insta-lose. So they go ahead and admit defeat. Now moving on into the finals, I have me versus Yosores. Then I'm going to go ahead and win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Make them go first. 20 versus 25. Opening hands, we have Book, Moth, Parasite, and then Breaker. And then they have Book, Apprentice Magician, Creature Swap, and Old Magician. And then What this skill card does, by the way, it's called David. You can banish 3 cards from your graveyard to draw 1. It's once per duel, so it's just a draw 1. They go ahead and they're gonna set, pass, draw Parasite. And I knew what deck he was playing and everything because I got to the finals before the semifinals even started. Because it was like, oh, if your bracket was ready, you can just keep going. So I was in the finals before people were even, like, the bracket was ready for the semifinals. So I had plenty of time. I ate food, I watched the matches, and also I had played against him before. Like, this is a person I played a few matches against before. So, like, I kind of knew what their deck was doing, and then I saw them playing it, so I was like, alright, yeah, I know what they're on. Summon, gang a counter, and then they're going to go ahead and book this. Pass, draw Charging Gaia. This is just a 19 body. But it's also like a tribute monster, which can help you versus like Nightmare Wheel and stuff. And then also works cool with Book of Moon, because you can like summon it, book it, flip it, it goes to 23. Draw Nightmare Wheel. And then here I normal summon set. And then go ahead, attack. They get the effect to go ahead and set the Apprentice. Pass. Then they draw another Gaia. And then they're going to flip, effect, and they're going to make this gang a counter, because whenever somebody can gang a counter, I said not like this, because I knew they had creature swap, and I was like, oh, that's the only reason they would do this. So, in response to creature swap, I go ahead and chain Book of Moon on Breaker, and then in response, I chain Parasite on Breaker. So, that will go ahead, set Passover, and then Parasite to summon out Moth. And then, here, before they even went to go, like, draw, I meant to do this. I wanted to go ahead and like Nightmare Wheel this, but like my thought process was like, if I Nightmare Wheel this, because I was like fairly certain it was an old magician, if I Nightmare Wheel it, then I can't like do anything about it, right? It's just gonna sit there, and like I can't attack it because then that's just gonna like turn this off. Because you can use this on a face down monster too, and it can't change its battle position or attack, so I want to be able to flip itself. So they go ahead and pop that, and then they try to beat over for 50. They're going to get the effect, go ahead, set a Magician, pass, and then I draw a Moth. And then I have to go ahead and activate, put back a Moth, and then draw Breaker. And then I activate to tribute this off and summon out a Moth. And, like, I knew this was, I knew I could go ahead and attack over it. And then, also, what I should have done, I realized this. I didn't activate Nightmare Wheel on my standby phase on this. I should have, like, thought out my plays more and realized that, like, I was going to Nightmare Wheel this anyways. So I should have done it on my standby phase to make them take 500. So that's a misplay. Pass, draw Breaker, Nightmare Wheel this. Like I said, I could have burned them for 500, but... they're going to go ahead, pop that, battle phase, attack for 2,050, pass, draw Nightmare Wheel, and then I just go ahead and I normal summon out Breaker, gang a counter, set, battle phase, beat over, and then pass, draw Floodgate, trap hole. I beat over that instead of this. I could have beat over Breaker. I was kind of afraid of a Book of Moon top deck, because like Book of Moon on this, and then I would have to, like, Nightmare Wheel it, and then I'm back in the position to where, like, I don't want to Nightmare Wheel this, because, like, I want to be able to, like, apply pressure. And I know that, like, his deck is playing the guy in the Charging Gaia. They normal summon effect, they make their own Breaker gang a counter, and then they go battle phase, attack, and I Nightmare Wheel their monster, pass, draw Zama, and then I burn them. Then I go ahead, and I think here pretty hard, and I go ahead, use the effect, pop the back row, set, battle phase, attack over, and then they don't use the effect. I know they're not even going to use the effect there because they've gone through all their spellcasters. They draw Zama. Then they go ahead and pop my Zama, normal summon out the Gaia, and then just battle phase, beat over, and then pass, draw Book of Moon, and then here, burn them. I set book, and then pass. They go ahead and activate Zama there. And right here, I was like, okay, my opponent has to get bluffed to a new level for me to be able to win here. They have to think this is Zama. This is literally the only way. Because the thing about Zama is that you summon it, and if they attack over it, they take burn damage. they would lose to burn damage. Another thing is that if you attack and I summon in defense and you don't continue the attack, then your monster's in attack position, and next turn I crash into it and you take burn damage. So right here I was like, alright, he's gonna have to go ahead and play as if this is Zama. So I knew he was gonna go ahead and do this. Kind of thought he was gonna change Zama to attack and attack with it, but I draw Cosmic, and then I go ahead, set pass, I draw Gaia. They switch to attack, and then battle phase, attack, and I go ahead and Cosmic that, and then draw Parasite, and then I pass to draw Floodgate Trap Hole, switch, normal summon, or not switch, flip, and then summon. They go battle phase, and start a battle phase, I activate the Parasite on that, and then they go ahead and attack. I book a Moon this, and then I get my Parasite effect to summon out Moth, and then they're going to activate the Floodgate Trap Hole to set this. Pass, draw book a Moon, then set pass, they draw book a Moon. They go ahead, pass, I draw the... Also, I kind of figured at this point that they had like a way to stop a Zama. Otherwise, I don't think they would have like flipped this, because their monster's at 23. Zama would make me take 500 to make them take 23. So I figured that they had a way to like stop it. So I go ahead and I pass here. They draw Breaker. Then they normal summon out Breaker. Try to pop the back row. I chain on this just because I don't know why. I really didn't need to do that. I was just like, alright, I'll book a Moon for no reason. And then right here, I go ahead, summon Breaker, they Floodgate Trap Hole. And then set pass to draw Nightmare Wheel. And then they go ahead and I flip up the Zama there. And they switch to defense, which was really good of them, but they did have like the out anyways. I draw Cosmic. And then switch to attack. Attack Breaker, they Nightmare Wheel it. And I just submit defeat. I realize that I can't win at this point. So going on to the next game, we're going to see me force them to go first. Opening hands, we have Book of Moon, Zama, Cosmic, Book, and they have Nightmare Wheel, Zama, Book, Apprentice. Ooh, okay, so my hand is like not good, and their hand is really good. Then they're just going to go ahead, normal summon, and then set pass. And when they did this, I was like, I'm getting baited right now. I was like, there's no way. I was like 100%, like they have Book. Like it like I was like for sure. I was like there's no way. I was like there's no way they're this big brain to where like they don't have Book right now. I was like for sure they have Book. So, they go ahead, they Book in response, this goes to graveyard. I'm like cool. So, 1-for-1 trade with the Book and Parasite, and then I get to go ahead put that back and draw Nightmare Wheel. I was like okay, well I don't have monsters. So, we're doing the classic set pass. And they flip Zama at end phase and I get to Cosmic that. Then pass, draw Floodgate Trap Hole, then set, pass, draw Book, and I was just like, man, this is a weird game state. So I Nightmare Wheel this to burn him for 5, set Book, pass, draw the Magician, then they're going to set that, and I flip Zama, draw Zama, and then burn him for 5. I shouldn't have set this, by the way, because this played in the Nightmare Wheel really hard. You'll find out here. Because I go ahead and I attack. They Nightmare Wheel this. And then if I chain Book of Moon, this just goes to the graveyard because there's no spell and trap zone for it to go to. So I book, pass, I draw Floodgate Trap Hole. Pass, draw Parasite, you know, right here. I was lagging a lot right here. Then they burn for 5. I go ahead, pass, I draw Zama, pass, draw Cosmic, burn for 5. Then they're going to activate Zama here. And then I just chain Cosmic to out that. Pass, draw Creature Swap, pass, draw Nightmare Wheel. And then set pass, they draw Newdoria. They summon it. And then I'm like, cool, Zama. And they Floodgate Trap Hole. Right here, I shouldn't even activated Zama. Realistically, I should have just Nightmare Wheeled Newdoria. Because I put my opponent on a shorter clock. And then also this puts the third card in graveyard for David. I hate like for David. What a name. Like what? Oh, this card doesn't have like its name. If I scroll over this, it doesn't show me. If I scroll, I don't even know what mine. Honestly, I don't know what mine is. But I go ahead, burn him for 1,000. And then I normal summon out a breaker. They floodgate trap hole this. And then I pass. They draw Book of Moon. They're going to activate Digging for Gold. Banish. Draws Newdoria. I said, please no BLS guy. Because they could go ahead and tribute the monsters that are equipped with the Nightmare Wheel to summon that out. So they creature swap me. They flip. They pop. And I'm like, oh no. They're doing something. And then they just scoop. And I was like, don't scare me like that. You didn't need to do that. So good luck, you two. I don't know why they use that face. I don't like that face. I don't like that little emote. I wasn't taking it as like toxic or anything. Cause like I played against this guy multiple times before, and like he's a pretty nice guy. But I don't like that emote. If it was anyone else, I would assume it's toxic. So opening hands, they made me go first. I opened Book, Breaker, Nightmare Wheel, Maneater Bug. And they opened Floodgate Trap Hole, Apprentice, Floodgate Trap Hole, and Zama. So I decide to go ahead and normal summon this out, set and pass. I was like, all right, this is pretty decent. It's helping me like somewhat play around like Floodgate Trap Hole, because if I have to normal summon this next turn, this is gonna get hit with Floodgate Trap Hole, where Maneater Bug won't. They draw Newdoria, then they just normal summon that out, set, battle phase, attack, and then I just let them trade 1 for 1, draw Cosmic, and then I set, they activate Zama, and I'm like, guess what? Cosmic, I'm crazy. Draw Book of Moon, and then they set Apprentice, set Book, pass. I draw Book, and then I flip Maneater Bug, pop this, and then I set Book, battle phase, attack. The Maneater Bug combo do be kind of crazy though. It do be kind of crazy. They're gonna normal summon an attack. On the summon, you gotta do the little bluff. I Nightmare Wheel this. And then end phase, they Book of Moon this. And also, this says that, actually, it comes up right here. Nightmare Wheel stays on field because it did, like, their opponent, like, the card didn't leave the field. I said, my bad. And then I said, wait, can you even book? Because it says it cannot attack or change its battle position. And they say, yeah, you can. I was like, alright, fair enough. So then I go ahead, book Maneater Bug, and then flip it, pop. So I was saying, like, Book of Moon with Maneater Bug do be kind of wild sometimes, especially against decks like these. I just didn't have, like, other cards to be able to apply more pressure. And then I attack, pass, draw Zama, they activate, and this will go ahead, banish, let them draw. They draw Apprentice Magician there. Then they're going to set, pass, draw Parasite, and then I go ahead, I decide to book, and then they said, and I said, Poggers. Go ahead, pop that. Battle phase attack, and then they flip Zama, pass, draw Breaker, and now here it's like, oh, this is starting to get way too close for comfort. Like, I get dropped down to 50 life points against a deck that is playing 3 Zama, 3 Nightmare Wheel. That's not good. There's only 15 cards left. That's not good. That's not good for me. They go ahead, activate, put back, draw into Maneater Bug, and then I activate Parasite on Zama. This goes through, so then I'm like, cool, tribute off, summon. I know this is going to give a Floodgate Trap Hole. Gotta, like, do something about it eventually. Set, pass, draw Creature Swamp. They're going to set that, battle phase, attack Maneater Bug, and then that just trades. End phase, flip Zama, and then draw Zama. And I switch to attack, set, battle phase, attack, and then pass. They draw Newdoria. Then they set that. I flip Zama. I draw Cosmic. I can't use it. I switch to attack. I attack. I'm like, please just be a bluff. Please. What are the odds? And it's not, so can't go for game. Pass. I draw Book of Moon. They set that. Pass. I draw Breaker. And then I go ahead. I said Floodgate plus Wheel about to go in. And I normal summon. No, I was joking. Don't do it. Come on now. And I attack, and they Book of Moon this. I was like, alright, that's fine. It's not Nightmare Wheel. Pass. They draw the Old Magician. They set it. And here I misplayed. I kind of just zoned out. I'm not even going to lie. I was watching the stream that was, like, commentating over the match. And it was, like, a 30-second delay. And I just didn't flip Zama here. So I should have flipped it to try to go ahead and, like, attack over. But I didn't do that. And then I just go ahead, pass. They draw Zama. And then I draw Zama. It's not like it actually, like, changed the game, like, at all. But It's definitely a misplay on my part. They draw Nightmare Wheel. Set it pass. Draw Parasite. You're going to end up me just losing here. They Nightmare Wheel and then GG's. Can't do anything about that. And I didn't flip my Zama to attack over it because I just lose if I do that because then I take 18 burn. I knew like once we got to this exact point in time I was going to lose. I really needed them to like not draw like actual cards. I needed them to just like draw bad 2 turns in a row and it just didn't happen. So GG's, and I forget what we say at the end there. It's like close games. Yeah, that was a good finals. Made this deck recently, but it seemed good enough. I said also kind of wild. I played in the finals versus the only person's name I could recognize. This is literally, I played versus this guy like 5 times before this. His win-loss ratio against me actually makes me mad. I'm not gonna lie. He has won 5. He's either won 5 or 4. He's won 4. He's won 4 matches, and I've won 1. He's one of the best. I gotta get him back. I gotta get him back. I gotta get better. I gotta drop the spice on him next time. I said, yeah, deck seems solid. I usually play XYZ, but needed a break from it. We'll see you next week. Smile. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing in this tournament. So, ended up, this tournament cost me $5 to enter. I got 2nd place in it. This is my first Speed Duel tournament ever. I beat some pretty good players. Put up a pretty good match against Yosores too. VOD reviewing, recognizing my misplays, recognizing my room for improvement. Theorizing about more things as the VOD reviewing goes on. And say and I did decent, Didn't win, so, if you're not first, you're last, but at the same time, it's something better than actually just like losing the first round though. So, so I spent $5 to get into the tournament, and I ended up winning 17. Hold on, I got it on my phone. $17.40. I don't know how the money came exactly to that, but $17.40. So I made $12.40 off this tournament. It did take it wasn't even that long, honestly. It was like 2 hours, but it was because it was literally just because the finals was like 33 minutes long, and like this is a regular time for a Yu-Gi-Oh match, for like a regular Yu-Gi-Oh match, but for speed duels, 33 minutes is kind of a while. I'm not gonna lie. But overall, had a good time. Again, shout out to Rook's Table on YouTube. Go check them out. They are the Speed Duel channel. I'm not going to be uploading a lot of Speed Duel things from here on out. So don't expect Speed Duel content from me. This is my 4th video of the day. I didn't want to take away a regular high rated DB video to put a Speed Duel link. I figured a lot of people aren't going to even want to watch this video. So I was like, alright, I'll go ahead and just make it the 4th upload, just because I was either going to VOD review by myself or VOD review by myself with a camera on me. And I was like, alright, may as well put the camera on me. I had a lot of people ask for it, so I was like, alright, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, but don't expect a lot of content like this in the future. Yeah. I guess this is like the 2-week update. Started playing Speed Duels 2 weeks ago. Had no idea what it was 2 weeks ago. And now I'm getting 2nd place in tournaments. So imagine what's going to happen 2 weeks from now, or 2 months from now, or 2 years from now. Nah, I'm playing. But with all that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.